Hey, it's the Sklar Brothers from Dumb People Town. We're with Dan Van Kirk, and our guest this week is John Hamm. Hammer!
That's me.
That's him, and we have some incredible stories and one of the best Lionel Richie anecdotes you'll ever hear. Tune in, review it, rate
We'll be
it.
dancing on the ceiling all night long with a story about a couch going through a drive-thru. That's all I'm saying, right? Dumb People Town?
Yeah, there's some fun ones. Let's get in a fight at a wedding again too, like we did with Bronger. We're back for another one of those.
Let's do that, Hammer. So happy to have you.
Kids, it's good to be here.
Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait.
You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march, we'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for ACLU, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing, ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including the tour in Australia and Harmon Country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. I think he has a taste treat.
Feral Audio.
From Hollywood, California, Meltdown Comics, the Nerdist Theater. Harmontown is now in Drink him if you got him. Let's bring out Spencer Crittenden, everybody. Of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Thank you for coming to the show I'm doing. All right, so yeah, I my therapist, she recommended a book for me, and then she didn't tell me, she just told me the title, and then I got it, and then the guy started talking, and it's an ADD book. I think I might be on the verge of a diagnosis. But she didn't want to, you could tell, because I was like, you want to recommend any other books? And she's like, just let me know how this one goes. But I think like she's very begrudging, like, because, you know, I'm a self-diagnoser. I think she like wanted to put the kibosh on that right away. She's like, "You're not fucking autistic, you poser." And I am, and I'm from like it's hard to pay attention to this book about ADD. It's hard to. it literally, honestly, was like, it's not even a joke because the guy that wrote it has ADD and he's a doctor that diagnoses it, which makes you think like, wait, is this like the stuff with Garrett Morris? Is it just a thing that like spreads? Look it up. The Blob, I gotta calm down because here's the thing. Okay.
The beginning of the book, it even went.
Hi, Spencer.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, guys. The beginning of the book went so far as to say ADD people have a hard time finishing books, and this book was made with that in mind.
Right.
But with that in mind, they did not go that extra mile to make it accessible to ADD people, I don't think. It was very slow paced.
That sounds like a great way to get away with writing a shitty book.
There's two versions of the book. When you look on audiobooks, it's called Driven to Distraction, or not Driven to Distraction, Delivered from Distraction. The former is like a Harlequin romance novel.
If you get the name of your ADD book wrong, you might have ADD.
But there's two versions, and they're with a slightly different colored cover, and one is 3 hours and one is 12 hours.
Right.
And then I could only get the 3 hour one because I wasn't on Wi-Fi. And then he says like, this is the 3 hour version because you have ADD. But then also in addition to that, very boring. Very boring book. Yeah.
But now, Dan, you're an Adderall user, enthusiast.
And I thought, illegitimately.
But
imagine my surprise to find out I'm on medication.
But the people I know that actually that are diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, and they take Adderall, they don't get like upbeat. That actually just restores
Jeff,
their memory.
Having listened to 15 minutes of this 12-hour audiobook, I can tell you there's a lot of misconceptions. First of all, it's everybody's different. That's what you'll hear about everything. It's like it should be called attention fluctuation disorder if it was going to be like named in a way that would help you. Like there's people have hyper focus that have ADD. People are easily distracted, like they're just scattered. It's all over the place. You have hyper empathy. You have there's a lot of overlap with things that you could see. Like you could diagnose somebody being bipolar. Like a lot of the things, like you can both bipolar people and ADD people. They could feel identically in certain situations. Like at certain times, you'd be like, "Oh, that person's bipolar or ADD," and it could be the other thing because like both of those categories, you could, in spite of all outward empirical evidence that you're doing fine, you could feel like you're a piece of shit and you need to just eat a bucket of shit and jump off a roof. Like ADD people can feel that way. And then the other thing that I thought was really valuable to know, which I should have just Googled in the first place because you always sit around and ask this stuff and you never look it up. ADHD versus ADD. It's not like ADD and then you add an H. They changed the name. They changed the name to ADHD. You can have a form of ADHD in which you're not hyperactive. It's called ADHD minus the H. They don't call it ADD. They changed the name. There's some clinicians that continue to
use. The new DSM changed it up.
Yeah.
That's why that's why Asperger's is now just part of autism. It's like the same.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
So it's super exciting stuff.
What do you think your hyper thing is? What are you hyper about?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't got nothing until somebody tells me I do.
but you want it though. You're excited about a diagnosis.
No, I want cheap Adderall, and I got that because I told a pharmacist from Yelp that I had trouble watching movies or something. I don't even remember what he asked. He asked 3 questions and said, "You definitely have ADD," which I know you're never supposed to say. You definitely have anything as a doctor. I found him on Yelp. What I have? Okay, here's some things that I have that I would be relieved to learn were symptomatic. I have a very, very, and not because they would excuse the behavior, because they would help me, they would empower me to go like, I got to work on that, you know? I just have a really hard time being interrupted. You may notice that. Sometimes I snap at you a little bit if I'm in the middle of like a point or something.
That reminds me of a story.
What the fuck? I'm trying to talk. Easy joke. We rehearsed that backstage. But if I could be in the middle of a tweet like a fucking dumb observation that Trump is a dick or something like, and my girlfriend could come over and I'm like, I'm tweeting. I'm in the middle of a tweet and I'm like trying to reword, like, or I could be in the middle of a thought, or let alone like, then you bring like addictive things like Minecraft or something into that, like, or if I'm in the middle of a train of thought, even though I just ramble, I don't have a right to be upset when people interrupt me. I would never stop talking if nobody interrupted me. But interruption is like, I have a harder, I get distracted and I'll either go like, wait, what? Like, you know, like I'm, or I'll like pretend I'm listening. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I'll be burping while I'm talking and the person will think I'm listening to them and I'm not, you know, it's a kind of like a hyper focus is what that is, I think. And like, so knowing that you have that, you go like, okay, I'm going to work on that, you know? And there's like things I'm excited to learn about called like interactive metronome or something like that. I don't know. It sounds like some kind of, sounds fun. There's like treatments. You can treat yourself, you know? I think everybody should, when we go to the moon...
We should all treat ourselves.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to treat ourselves in both senses of the words. We're going to all... Everyone's personality is going to be a disease. What's your name, sir? Tom. You have Tomism. You have hyper Tom disorder or inappropriate Tom disorder. Like you are Tom, but that doesn't mean you get to just run around barfing on people and going, I'm a Tom. That's how Tom rolls. It's an invitation for other people to accept who you are. Oh, that's Tom. He has Tomism. And then also the other side is you got to be, they're going to do that because they think that when you go home, you're like, you owe it to them to be like, fucking Tomism. I got to work on this shit until I'm like, I don't know.
What do you think are the noticeable symptoms of Tomism?
Just a polite smirk and we through the odd futuristic members only windbreaker and it's a general handsomeness and
latent hoodie.
Latent hoodie tendencies, yeah. With not sure if there's a hood or not. Could just be doing equipment back there. Yeah, okay. What am I? An insult comic? I'm gonna make fun of your.
You called his name a disease.
You know what I was doing.
I know.
It was what I was doing was beautiful. It's a beautiful idea. Everyone's, you know, and that's another thing. Now I know whenever I share beautiful things with you guys and I sense that you guys don't appreciate me enough, it's just the disease. It's, you guys aren't assholes. I used to think I was a piece of shit and that you guys were making me feel that way. And that like I would go home and I'd go, that audience, I love them, but we gotta figure this shit out. But now I know it's just all in my head. Like, you're just a bunch of people sitting around. Who knows what you're thinking?
They're all just, they all have diseases.
Yeah. Yeah, you're Maryitis and Ralphists. Let's put the pressure of entertainment tonight on some wonderful guests, huh?
Who do we got?
Oh, God damn it. I don't know their human names. I only know where they're from because I rolled in too late.
Talking about
we have all the
Sarah and Beth.
I am talking about Sarah and Beth.
Okay.
Do you know where they're from? They're from a really celebrated, hot, awesome web site. But shouldn't we know their last name? Should we introduce them by their last names too before we say?
I think that would only be professional, yes. But I don't
so in
have
order
them.
to do that, hold on. I'm just going to pull up. Let's get it. Okay, here we go.
You don't know their full names offhand? You don't know that?
No, I don't. And I'm going to be honest because I have ADD and don't worry about me. Folks, please welcome Beth Newell and Sarah Papalardo from Reductress. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Reductress is
Do you want us to say?
Yeah. No. Let me take a shot. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
Reductress is a parody, satirical web news site with a feminist point of view, but it could be satirizing both the feminist point of view and the world around us. It's no.
I would say
Okay.
that's an A-. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
That's pretty damn good.
In a world where there's such a thing as web news and we're all getting our news from the web, and I don't know why clickhole is not more popular. Like, it's one of the old few like attempts in a post newspaper world where we all recognize that the Onion was doing something important, and then the web became like this horrible cesspool, and comedy seemed to just like that Onion instinct seemed to just go like, or maybe there's just not enough demand for it. Like, the clickhole should be. It should be more powerful. People should be constantly like, oh, I'm so happy that someone's pointing out how Clickhole is pointing out how we're all fucked.
Yeah, I don't think most of the world knows how fucked up the internet is yet, so they don't even understand what Clickhole is doing.
It's really hard to satirize garbage.
It parodies itself. You guys seem like you're probably a little younger than me. I don't see any. I'm not going to objectify you, but you seem smooth and.
Thank you.
Dan, they are certainly younger than you.
Do you have opinions? Do you think that it's hot?
As a woman, no.
No, absolutely not.
Do young women still have opinions?
Do you have opinions about generational stuff versus like relationship with irony? Do you think like I'm 44? I've sat up here a lot and said like. I don't think they get irony as much.
Oh, really? Because
Really?
when we talk to our parents, we're like, we don't think they get what we're doing.
No, they don't see irony at all. But everyone thought that irony was dead when Obama got elected. I don't think it went anywhere. We still have it.
Right. But is it, I mean, do you guys tweet and stuff? Do you ever tweet bits?
Yeah.
Do you find like then people tweet back? Like if you tweeted, like I'm trying to think of it, just a simple example.
Oh, like you make a joke that's a question and someone answers the question. As if
or you make a
wanted-
joke that's like pointing out, you're like, boy, I can't believe Tom Cruise didn't do this, and then someone will go like, well, that's because he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Or they'll kind of like they'll just repeat your joke. They'll be like, for that matter, I can't believe Tom Cruise didn't do that, and it'll be like, that was my bit, you
But
dick.
then that's when I wonder if they're actually more ironically detached than me. Like they're doing a bit that's just more irritating than my bit.
I would say what you're talking about, women and minorities get it like times 10 on Twitter because people are just like, I don't think they know what they're saying. Let me explain it to them.
Oh, yeah. Well, also, there's the whole thing of, and I promise I'm not white knighting by saying this. I think this is fucking fascinating. We spend half of our time wanting to debate whether women are funny, and then the other half of the time the funny women who, like, therefore say things that are crazy, sometimes that are a little inappropriate, we come on, we clam down on them, like, harder than any dude, right? I mean,
Right.
You're biased, probably, you're women. But you notice that, right? Like they're
Yeah.
But is it you? Do you guys? Okay, here's a question. As women that are doing comedy, are you guys of the camp of like, oh, suck it up, Buttercup, because we want to be judged on how funny we are, or are you of the camp of like, Jesus Christ, people need to realize that the perception is all out of whack? I don't want to give you that choice. Why is there a dichotomy?
The second choice?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Like, on the one hand, I don't want to be judged because, like, ooh, I'm a woman. Like my work because I'm a woman. I want to be judged for what I actually make. But at the same time, it is fucking hard for women to do this because it always becomes about, like, how did you do it? Like, you don't see male comedians' memoirs
Right.
the way that you see, like, Amy Schumer and everyone, because everyone's just, like, way more obsessed with how did they do it? Like, how did they claw their way out of that womanly pile
Well, for
of
sure,
garbage?
Jim Belushi like wrote a book and said that when he was 6 years old, he found a piece of gravel up his little brother's ass. Like that wouldn't be coming up over and over again, and every critique of everything he said on the internet. Plus, you're an incestuous pedophile. You found gravel up your little brother's butt. It'd be like, no, it's Jim Belushi. It's his book. He probably didn't even write it, and like. I think Lena Dunham is a tremendously entertaining person. To me, she's like she's not a senator. She's not going to say shit that's like whatever. Why, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I don't view you as being part of a biomass with Lena Dunham.
Trying to put rocks in my ass.
Come on, Harmon, get your shit together. You got 20 minutes left to prove to these women that you're a feminist. The meter is running.
We're waiting.
TikTok.
No, I'm kind of like in a more general sense, pulling back to just doing you're on a website, you're parodying a cesspool which parodies itself. Do you guys have any? Are you guys like the head honchos at Reductress?
Yeah.
So do you guys? And did you started it as partners?
Yeah.
You said let's fucking do this. Did you have to seek out investors? I just got distracted by a whole line of questioning, but go with it.
We've been bootstrapping.
Yeah.
So we've just been like doing it hand to mouth for a few years.
Do you monetize?
We do monetize. I don't know if you noticed though, the internet is a shit place to make money. So
Yeah.
we make money doing other stuff like events and podcast as well, and
But you sell
memoir.
advertising
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so now getting back to, so when you sat down and said, this is worth trying, it's going to be brutal because there's no way to monetize it, it's going to fucking suck, uphill battle. Do you have do you have like a comedic mission statement? Does that make sense? Is that question?
Yeah, I mean, the comedic mission statement was mostly just like women's media sucks and it doesn't represent us and we're smarter than this.
Talk about the landscape unless it's going to get you in trouble. Like express that frustration. Like when you look at the pre-Reductress landscape of women's comedy, like what do you see the sins being?
I mean, I think the big one was the way that women's magazines talk down to women and use fear and insecurity to make them buy things, ultimately. And then later on, we started seeing empowerment marketing, like the Dove ads, also using empowerment and feminism in order to sell things.
Right.
So it basically all revolves around that.
Yeah.
What are examples of that we're not like what woke me up more? Like if I'm like if I see a thing and I'm a guy and I see something and it's like, high five this woman for doing this, or like I often sometimes I see things and I think in the back of my head I'm like that's fucking dumb. Like if I were a woman that would make me mad, but then I don't know if it would make you mad.
It definitely does. I think that part of the frustration was a lot of men see that and they're like, they don't think that thing's dumb. They think women are dumb and like that thing.
That's the fucking, okay.
So we were trying to point that out. Like, we're like, we don't want this.
Yeah, we're not in charge of the internet. That's really, okay, you're blowing my mind. I never, that's true. I bet that's true. Like, you have a tendency to, because we have preconceived, like, investments emotionally. We definitely found that out. Like that we, no matter who we are, that we had stacks of poker chips in this game that we did not, no one ever made us count. We were like, so if somebody says, look at this body positive parade marshal, it's like
Episode title.
you're like there's things that they're trying to get clicks, and like, so you're clicking the turnstile that's created, like, includes these like attitudes. So you can say Charlie Sheen just started a new massage parlor, and you're like, okay, you're only clicking on it if that interests you, and it only interests you if you're a big Charlie Sheen fan or a big fan of massage, or if Charlie Sheen's a clown to you and you want to like really like get some shit off your chest in the comment section. And so, like, the stuff that has to do with women, but that Charlie Sheen thing, I never think in my head, oh, why is Charlie Sheen making me try to, why does he want me to think things about him other than he's into massage and is a good businessman? I'm going to go disabuse him of that notion. But if somebody tweets, like, oh, Amy Schumer's new music video does this and that, and it's not, she doesn't get to be in charge of how her joke is being delivered, and then you go, I'm going to let this bitch know that women aren't funny. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Dove soap.
We'll caress your body. I don't know. I guess I kind of acted like I was teeing you guys up to say something.
No, I mean,
all I did was.
I mean, it's interesting because it seems like, Charlie Sheen, amid all his flaws, just exists. Like, he is objectively existing, and yet a woman is just a thing to place all of your, project all of your fears, insecurities, and anger onto. Like, it just seems like it's all our job to have opinions about women.
Right.
But it just doesn't work the same way for men.
Do you think that that's not to set you up to sound like like I don't know, not to set you up to sound anyway, but do you think that is localized culturally, like chronologically, or do you think that is like a weird, like crazy primate condition that women are scary to men and kind of and maybe scary to each other, and like there's like this weird flow of energy in that direction?
I think we've been conditioned by media to like fear women, especially if they're in a position of power. So like that's all the media we've seen where we see a woman in charge. She's like a horrible boss and she sucks. And there's just like no examples out there. Because I think with Charlie Sheen, like he can be this garbage mess of a person.
But we love him.
And we love him. Mm. And then in 5 years we could say he like fixed all his problems and people would forgive him and he'd make a new movie and there'd be some like redemption story. But if a woman did that, we would always be like, she's a garbage pile.
It's just Lindsay Lohan. And then like she just never comes back and it's sad. But
there is I can look at myself and feel that. Like I like from my 20s, like before I started like examining that stuff, maybe it's you're punching down before you know you're punching down, like because you think you're punching up because you're a guy, and like women are just like they're just important, and they didn't buy a ticket to that ride, and they're also not all the same thing, but to you they are because of your situation, and that combined with privilege equals like the situation where it's like you can't get out of the starting gate if you were to say I'm going to be a woman and I'm going to be funny in this way, and it's like why am I explaining this shit to you?
Yeah. The patriarchy, man.
If only there was a word for me explaining it to you. That
it does feel like punching up, though. I think when you're taking down a person who's in such a high level of power, like Lena Dunham and Amy Schumer, they're like so successful. You're like, I can make fun of them, but then at the same time, you're like, as women, it's like we only got 2 this year. Like it's like you guys had a lot. So you're like, oh, you're taking down our one person.
I think this is related. I swear to God. I was watching a documentary about sex dolls and the sex robots.
Hear him out.
There's a couple of these. There's documentaries about guys who have their sex dolls. And this was a thing about guys who are dedicated to the dream of inventing sex dolls, the guys who are engineering them, and the guys who can't wait to be their first customer.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
And the thing I hope I can articulate this, but because I feel like I noticed this, is that like even in spite of the fact that these guys are in their garage like making sex dolls, and then the other guys are like, I can't wait to have a sex robot. When they grace the topics of like just sex in general, even though they're supposed to be deconstructing it with pride and with elan, they still go like, there's the pelvic thrust for certain other activities, if you know what I mean. And it's like, what do you mean if I know what you mean? This whole there's a camera crew in your garage, you're making a dick piston like that's like why just talk like it's NASCAR? And here's the thing, like the guys that are waiting for the sex robots who also talk like that, they go like oh, and I'm looking for a certain thing, if you know what I mean, and like kind of like for certain visceral topics that wouldn't by nature be offensive, they like the guys that are inventing the sex robots, by virtue of the fact that they're making them in their garage and it's hard to make beautiful things by scratch with lumber and nails.
Ouch.
When fucking Apple IIe of sex robots.
Yeah.
Just like the shitty tube
to
monitor.
the extent that the sex robots are able to, for instance, move or talk, all of that budget in your Sim City of like what makes a sex robot, it all goes away from like physical attractiveness, kind of like it's already hard to make a thing that looks like a beautiful human being in the first place, and then these guys are trying to make a thing that like acts right and talks right and goes like this, and so But what I noticed for that reason is that then they would go to these guys who are connoisseurs, pay it forward connoisseurs of sex robots that don't exist yet, and all of them, as they intercut between them talking about this guy's new sex robot, he's like, I'm unveiling the sex robot, and it just looks like David Lee Roth. Like, it's like, because he's focused on all this other functionality, and the thing just looks like your uncle in a wig, and just as I'm doing right now, it's like those guys, they cut between them, and all those guys that are like, if you know what I mean, about all that like stuff that has to do with their intimacy, them wanting pleasure, when they got to say that it's ugly, like they just relax. You can see the weight come off of their shoulders, and I don't know how to articulate. I was like, I paused it, and I was like saying like, there's something important here, because like these guys are going like it's that bringing that back around to this. It doesn't feel like punching down, but you're like we want to punch down. Like we have an urge, and I think that probably all human beings feel that. Like we all have some area where we justify it somehow. Like I'll be like in a comment section on Jezebel and like watching under some articles like, oh, like, but here's your thing. Like, here's your thing where you get to call someone a piece of fucking subhuman shit, you know?
Some people need to make a robot to be like, I'm out of her fucking league.
Yeah, those guys are just like, she's ugly. And they started coming up with all these things. I wouldn't fuck her with someone else's dick and all this stuff. I was like, oh, you were just winking and nudging when you were talking about your own dick. But it's like, I wouldn't fuck her with someone else's dick. We're talking about someone else's dick? We're talking about a robot? It's like, it's ugly. Like, we want to just drown each other because we feel like we're drowning. We want to like grab each other's heads and go like, you're ugly. You're ugly. I'm not drowning. I was just in Fiji and I almost drowned.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I told you I was a bad interviewer. I told you what I'll do. So okay. Okay. Would you want to meet my friend Brandon Johnson? He's black.
Yeah.
He's black. Okay. Brandon, come out.
Brandon Johnson.
The magic's already started.
What's up, welcome.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me back, Dan.
Thank you.
It's an honor to share the stage.
This sweater and this vest and the shirt. Like, how do you outdress me every goddamn time?
I think, what would an old-timey black man from the 30s wear?
So, you know, like, have we talked about this before? You and I want to be like one of those 70, 80-year-old dudes that has a kick-ass cane. You know, like a bitching hat.
Yeah.
And like just one of those cool old dudes that you see walking down the road, and like you can pull off like a cane with like an owl head on it.
Yeah. I want it to be full of Jameson and a little bit of weed and a little bit of cocaine, so that when I bump into some young dude and he's like, "You old motherfucker," and I can be like, "Look here, young buck. Look here. Got cocaine and marijuana, young buck. Not so unimpressive after all."
Now,
and then hit that motherfucker with my cane.
I've changed my ambition. I want to be at any point in my life where I'm confident in calling anybody young blood. What's up, young blood?
Go pray for what you want, man. I hate young black dudes, man. Because they give you that look like, you're not cool no more.
They can smell
you're an
it?
old black dude. Which is tragic. Old black woman with like, if she's standing back behind a counter and she serves you a pork chop, you're like, oh, thanks, old black lady. That's probably gonna be delicious as shit. But if an old black man in this sweater handed you a pork chop, you'd be like, fuck that. What did you do wrong in life?
That's a very interesting.
But thank you for the compliment.
I would just say that you look like a very well-dressed older black gentleman.
I'm just trying to find out who killed Bumpy Knuckles. Like a fucking 1910 black detective.
Is that a reference or an awesome riff of like a Ersatz black detective?
You haven't heard about the death of Bumpy Knuckles?
Yeah.
It's in all the papers.
Is there a Charlie Chan for but black? Is there like an old timey detective archetype that was a
Shaft?
Well, I'm not gonna throw his detective work under the bus, but I'm saying I mean going back to Charlie Chan days when it was like is there like a classic like Uncle Ben of detecting like. There isn't, right?
It's so hard, man, because I want to make up a dude for you right now. You don't know about the work of Charles Dujardin? Charles Dujardin was the first black actor to play a detective. And arrested moments later.
Wait, can I bring it back real quick? Sarah and Beth, I have a question. Like, just because you're women and feminists and you're making like satire and stuff like that, do you think right now with Trump being Trump and being in office and all this stuff, do you think, and I'm hoping it's the case with the march that's going to happen and all this stuff, do you think there will be some awesome like revolution like for women now because it's so ridiculous that we all get to actually call this shit out and like women get to be full on vocal activists at all times?
Yeah, I think that like 53% of white women are finally gonna like latch on to 90s feminism. Like they're gonna finally catch up with the rest of the world. And then they're gonna make some like movie about it in 20 years, and everyone will be really self-satisfied.
Like First Wives Club, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be that flaccid? It'll be that fleeting and not actual?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that there's seriously a lot of people in this country that need to catch up with just like basic tenets of feminism. I'm not even talking about what third wave feminism is even about. Just really basic stuff like equal pay and reproductive rights. Things like
birth
that.
control allows us to have jobs.
Right.
Just basing it on the name, I would guess that third wave feminism is about diminishing the concept entirely, because you can't even get through that name without getting the subconscious implication that it's fleeting and has been done before and will be done again. Who came up with that phrase? Is it Proud? Is everyone waving that flag, or was that
who came up with it? Ugh, someone in the audience probably knows better than me.
It sounds like Archie Bunker came up with it. Like
no.
Geez, these third wave feminists.
Okay.
You burnt your bra. You put your bra back on. Now your bra's burning while it's on you. I don't know what to. When are you going to realize you're just women? Doesn't matter how many waves you go through. They're just waves. They come in, they go out. You know, isn't that kind of like a subconscious, like...
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go through our grunge period soon, so it'll all come
It'll just
full
be
circle.
called Fema junk. Fema garbage.
I hope it skips 90s grunge and goes straight to like awesome punk rock, like riots and shit, like actual revolutionary.
On record, calling for physical, actual, prosecutable action. All right, I'll back you up. I'm going with
America.
you.
I am.
right.
I think it's time to like light torches and pick up pitchforks.
Because if tweeting worked,
it would get you elected president.
yeah, I think it's no problem to be on Twitter. It's the world's CB radio, but a guy used it to become our first like actual evil president. Like just got on Twitter and was like, breaker, I should be president. And everyone that was like hashtagging cancel Colbert because of that, like that didn't work, but that did. I think that means that Twitter's probably for listening and not so much for getting stuff done. And then you go back to old wheat paste flyers. Wheat paste. Put shit up on a wall that people have to see. Tell them fucking yeah. Take down the they live glasses. Or put them on, I mean. Look, I don't know. I'm gonna.
This is the Dan Harmon get off my lawn segment.
I'm 3 months from caving. Every time I have a rant on Twitter where I'm like, this fucking president should be in jail, and then I kind of get this nausea 30 minutes later. I'm like, what are you doing? You're playing Minecraft. You're gonna get fired. Like, you just don't lip off. No one else is doing. What are you and Mark Hamill? What are you doing? Have you heard what Mark Hamill's doing? Like,
the Batman
fucking
stuff,
amazing. Right? Like, it's such a brilliant stroke of like, it's such a great example of just like every little bit. Like what a great thing. Like to just. I'm the last person to know, but so I'm explaining to no one. But he reads Trump's tweets in the voice of the Joker, and it's fucking amazing.
I was just like, Happy New Year to all my haters. And it's so perfect. Anyways, but yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm 3 months out from just going, wait a minute, what am I doing? I should just sit in a lawn chair, put on a red baseball cap and say, now who loves Trump so much they're willing to work for sub-minimum wage for me? Like, I could just game the system. This is how Nazism works. Like, guys like me just slowly go, I'm tired.
When is the Women's March? The 21st, right?
Yeah, when is... are you guys going to the Women's March? Not that I'm assuming anything because of your gender.
We're going to the one in New York.
You just look like marchers.
Yeah, we're just flying back, so we gotta go to our own city.
Are you based out of not L.A.?
Yeah, we're in New York.
Oh.
Yeah, we're visiting.
Cool.
So all major cities are doing it, right?
Yeah.
I know Boston is. I'm sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought Cody's flying to D.C., where an omnibus permit was taken out that prevents any marches during Inauguration Day to be dedicated to anything meaningful.
I want it to be a big ass fucking free for all, crazy ass like.
It's gonna be huge because there's isn't there like 4 times the buses? Like there's 200 buses for inauguration. There's 1,200 buses for the Women's March. Yeah. So that's impressive.
Fuck yeah.
I think it's going to be really calm, though, actually. It's going to be like a lot of moms.
It'll be well organized and people will be listening to each other. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that's the point of it. I hope it's fucking 8 billion people. Well, that doesn't add up. But and then it goes off without a hitch. I hope that reports start coming out of people trying to covertly stir shit up and getting exposed as fucking that they're trying desperately to do it. Because this is an important thing. Like, here's the silver lining. Like, we lost. Let's talk about left versus right. We lost. Like, oh, boo-hoo, that sucks. But it's like, holy shit, we haven't lost in a long time. Like we haven't been the people that are allowed to just do anything with no accountability to logic. People, you can just say the president's a fucking idiot and you should be thrown in prison. And anyone that comes at you and goes like, please, I think these identity politics should be debated. I think you're like, fuck you, have fun. Like, I'm just a fucking insurrectionist. I lost. I don't have to fucking hang out and obey your laws. I don't know. I'm not saying
Well, that's the sinister part of it is like when the Dixie Chicks talk shit about Bush, they were nearly fucking pilloried. They got a bunch of flack. Now we get to talk so much shit about Trump because he's such a buffoon, but that completely takes all the point of dissent and what's the word I'm looking for?
Taco.
It takes all the taco out of it.
When I was
now talking shit about the president, it doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't land anywhere. Dissent doesn't even matter anymore because who gives a
I don't
fuck?
think that's true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I don't. If that's a defeatist statement, I don't agree with it. I don't think that's true at all. I think you could see these people in every comment section. Maybe I'm projecting, but because maybe it's what I want to see. Every Twitter thread, everything. I can see the confusion and the fear and the frustration that used to be ours to bear now being handed over to these stump-humping redneck fuckfaces. And they don't have the attention span we have, and they're not going to vote in 2018 because they got shit to do and be dumb about. Like, they're confused. They keep saying over and over again, why don't y'all just get back to work? I'm sorry to make them Southern. I know it's this is big because a lot of the Trump thing is it's not fucking we gotta not. I just did it, but I'm punching down on fucking fucking labor, but there's a big part of that movement is exploitation of those people by people that are fucking just profiting. So, but all of those people across the board, all of that memeing and tweeting and all that shit, that was Snickers bar energy compared to the energy you have from eating a turkey. They can't last, and they're confused. They just keep going, yeah, but emails, and you keep going, she lost. Back to talking about how he's a dumb fuck that can't spell and should be thrown in a hole with sharp sticks in the bottom. Well, but if Obama, nothing, motherfucker! I'm talking about my president. I'm just a dumb fucking idiot that just wants to cause trouble. Ever heard of it? Must
suck to be not even in your first 100 days in office, and you just got a bunch of people just clawing at you like cats, like just spreading any rumor they can. Oh God, Lou, why do you want to see my tax return so much? It's as if I wasn't born in America. Will you people stop at nothing to just ruin everything? Yeah! And it's how I always wanted to feel, and it was harder when there was a handsome, articulate black guy in office that wanted everyone to have health care. Yeah, it was harder. It was hard to wake up jaded. It was hard. Now it's easy. Now it's like the way it should be. He's a king and a fucking idiot, and I'm a fucking jester. And
he's made out of smoke and cotton candy. Like you can't throw a dart that will stick in him because he doesn't exist. He's a concept. Like you can't actually nail him on anything because he doesn't give a fuck about accuracy or truth.
Yeah,
Who cares?
He does like 80 cartoonish things a day, though. He's like Scrooge McDuck. So you're like, hey, that crazy thing you did. He's already on to the next one. Like
I mean,
which is brilliant because nothing lands. Like he can just. That crazy fucking
nothing lands. It's not like
stuff.
if everyone starts talking about something, he won't fucking obsess about it and start melting down on Twitter. He fucking does.
I think what we should do is not politics, not campaign, or not policy stuff. Simply talk about how he looks. Just call him chubby. If we all agree to just call him chubby pants. I think he'd fucking blow his brains out. He's so vain.
I think you should do that because when you talk about how people dress and how they look, like it carries weight. Like it does because it's in your essence. Because people would like you to say that they dress well.
I like that shirt you're wearing.
And I think that I think Mark Hamill should read his tweets as the Joker, and I think that I think Nabisco should say he's not crunchy enough. I think that if you I think that it doesn't
if we can monetize criticism, this might actually work.
Our emphasis on how things get done and whether something is going to work and whether or not a bratty kid just wants your attention and therefore you should think counterintuitively. The only silver lining of this defeat and the situation we're in is that we don't have to spend that much brain power on that shit anymore. You can just figuratively put a frag in a bottle and light it and throw it in any general direction.
In theory.
Figuratively.
In theory.
Don't you
Yeah, good luck with that shit. Some of us have a lot of work we gotta do. Digging the trenches to live in and the caves to hide in. But you're right. You could just put that red hat on.
I always have that
your stance, though. Your stance is that we should fuck with this dude until he's up out of office, more than ever before.
And believe me, Brett, you are my second of two black friends that I have.
The other one called and said they could not make it.
I've had this conversation where it was I was like, no, you're right, dude. You don't have to. I get it. I don't get it, but I get that I don't get it, and I get that it's I'm not gonna be like, what are you guys doing? To women and black people, and especially not black women. Because it's the line was towed and all this shit, and it's this is a time as that Chappelle sketch on SNL, and white people are fucking having to deal with frustration for the first time in their lives. Whatever. Take the bench, my friend.
Yes.
I am your globetrotter.
I unfortunately cannot do that, as the game seems to keep coming to me. But I will say, it is, if you're a historian, there's a way to look at what's about to happen in a way that doesn't necessarily have to get you down. It's kind of interesting because if you're a historian, it's one of the most interesting things to ever happen. So if you don't become an activist, there's still something interesting about being about paying attention to what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
matter whether you're getting into it to stop it or whether you're sitting on the sidelines or whether you're an activist, it's still a crazy fucking time to witness.
Yeah, and I think with a potential healthy result, because it is. I sat on this stage for 4 years and ran my mouth about bipartisan systems full of shit, and it's I don't know, Keith Olbermann did a thing the other day where he was would you trade there's a way that we could all just vote for Mitt Romney. Like really search yourself and be like, you know what? It's like I'm craving the bipartisan system as comfort until we can figure out how to fix it. This is not fixing it. And like I have to then that's making me recognize that all of my anarchist bullshit about like, oh, the system is stupid, why do I have to choose between Coke and Pepsi? Well, because corn syrup isn't human urine. It's bad for you, but it's not human urine bad for you. That's a bad example. Human urine is actually better for you than corn syrup, right? Because it contains water and probably human nutrients
and delicious.
Anyways, where did we get off? As women and comedy people, does your website have boobs? No.
Actually, yes.
Does the do you guys like? It's like, do you have to have conversations where you tally like? I'm trying to figure out, like I want to talk about the comedic aspect of it, where comedy becomes industry, where it becomes like kind of where you have to talk about shit that's not coming from just the thing you naturally want to do. Are you guys just following your bliss every time someone moves to write something, or is there some kind of like restraint or guidance being put on it, is what I was trying to get at before?
There's a lot of restraint.
Yeah, I mean, we follow our bliss to a point where the idea actually has to be clear and readable, so that when you're scanning through Facebook or Twitter, you're like, I get that.
So you have to have conversations like, well, what's the joke here?
Yeah,
and if it's the same as the joke in the last thing, then okay, let's come up with a different thing. Or
yeah, we gotta like rein in our bliss. Our bliss can't go that far.
What you haven't run, if there's headlines that you've turned down, because you have so many. Your bylines are hilarious. And is there anything that you've ever been like, that's too fucked up?
All the time.
Well, sometimes there's jokes that really appeal to us as feminists that are sort of like laughing at ourselves as feminists, but then we're like, what will the opposition do when they get a hold of this sort of thing? And we're like, we can't put this out there because it's just a lot of like MRA trolls will see our articles as real, as written by real women, and obviously they hate women. So every article we write is an example of how women are dumb and terrible because we're satirizing women's media.
Yeah, like one article we put out a couple months back, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Alaska. People thought it was real and made a call to get the writer fired. Right. And someone wrote an open letter.
I'm sorry. They went through. Them taking it seriously is one thing, like that I've seen with the Onion, the like people that take the Onion thing. But that blows my mind. The idea of like get her fired because then reductors will be all cleaned up for me. But it's really just about punishing this woman from. Like, you should fire her from. It's like trying to. It's like imagine trying to get someone fired from the Ku Klux Klan. Like it's like if you. Yeah, you're
sure
like,
it happens.
Well,
show up dirty.
Right.
someone wrote like 1,000-word blog post just to articulate the fact that Alaska is in the United States.
Yeah.
Like they were like,
that was his sex robot moment. Like he really felt superior to this fictional writer.
So if everybody's just dumb, now this is just broadening out into like, okay,
I think we all agree. Yeah.
Like most people are dumb. The average IQ is 100. America has perhaps heroically, perhaps villainously spent its time on top, reallocating assets slowly from the future educated children. Like we've been focusing on dumbness, like we're like in horse sense. We're like, oh, we're cowboys and we're gonna rustle the doggies of the world, and like who needs to care if evolution is real in order for that to happen? You just need a lasso and a bomb, and so if it's like I guess like as young comedy people who have no choice but to be thinking about a wish for the world, because you're not jaded, nihilistic troll people who are just going like, fuck you, you're stupid, the world is stupid. Do you guys, like, is there a goal? Are we supposed to just make dumb people smart with comedy? Are we supposed to just, like try to avoid getting shot? Are we supposed to, like, shift things so that 60 years from now in a world we don't get to participate in, things are better? Am I overreacting to...
I think we have to like dumb down our message for them in a way, because like
simplify. We need to simplify.
Like speaking to your point of like taking Trump down at all costs, like similar to George Bush, in 10 years, all these people are going to pretend that they hated Trump and they're going to pretend they didn't vote for him. So like my goal is not to take down Donald Trump and convince them he has a tiny penis. Like the goal, I think, is to like shift their focus and be like, hey, like healthcare is good. Black people deserve to live. Like, just like focus.
Wait,
Hilarious.
slow down. Slow down. Let's take it one step at a time.
And what's like if you give us comedy tips if I'm a satirical journalist and I'm like, I want to do a bit, like, because you can see it misfiring a lot. People think that satire means a lot of times just pretty much non-ironic kind of like sarcasm, which creates a sarcasm between that you're trying to, but like there's a real art to like leading people around to an absurd thought that forces them to realize something like black people deserve healthcare, but you don't do it by typing an article that says black people don't deserve healthcare. Get it? I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. My question is do you have any like little like a fundamental philosophical kind of tip, like where I'm trying to think of an example from another field where it's like if a welder were to say, or if a football quarterback were to say, follow through, like or just some simple thing that when it comes to like parody and stuff where you're actually hoping that the end result will be somebody laughing and then also like looking at themselves, is there like a kind of guiding principle that separates the craftsman from the non-crafts people?
I mean, this might seem really obvious saying it out loud, but that your headline actually says what you are trying to say. Like, if you're like, okay, what's the joke of this piece? And you're like, well, I think it's this, this, and this. And if that's not actually reflected in the headline, then like, you wouldn't believe how many times that happens. It's just...
Is that wait? I'm not sure if you're citing if either give me an example or clarify more, because I'm not sure if you're. Sorry.
I just opened a Pandora's box. I don't know.
It's when the headline is super funny. It's a joke, but it doesn't relate to any of the article. The article can't back it up. So you sort of lose steam.
So do you mean the headline kind of encapsulates the whole bit right there, right? Or do you? But I thought you might have been saying like actually the headline shouldn't even be ironic, or it should be.
I don't know.
No, the whole joke is there in the headline. There's no like buried lead, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you're agreeing to click on is what you're going to get in that article. Unlike a lot of mainstream journalism, which currently is like, what will people click on in this headline? Let's pick one random phrase from this article.
How much when you guys write something that's like obviously satirical or parodic, that are you writing and hoping, because like satire is not for everybody. And people don't know that, like, you're joking when you say I'm moving to Alaska. That's the whole joke is in the headline there. Like that's all there. Are you writing for what percent are you hoping that stupid people bite on that and write crazy blog posts and are inflamed by that, or are you hoping that everybody gets the joke and it's hilarious across the board?
We never write for the dum-dums. No, we're not trying to change anyone's mind. We're
usually trying to guilt and shame the well-intentioned liberals who are not actually fixing the problem at hand. So like we'll do things like these headlines.
I love that. So you mean all of San Francisco?
Like, we'll do a headline that's like, these headlines about Black Lives Matter are breaking my heart as I scroll past them. Or something, And it just sort of is like, a lot of them are like, hey, white women, you're not helping. You know?
Right.
So,
or like, I can't believe this country is so racist, says employee of all-white startup. Like, and I mean, like, I think even in that one was a tweak where we try to avoid making talking about like, oh, big rich white man, because I think like anyone in this room can like point at a white rich CEO and be like, that guy sucks. We try to kind of get it a little more specific, and that specificity kind of makes us all turn inward and look at ourselves a little bit more.
We all have a little rich white man inside of us.
We do. That's
and so to alienate that guy is just not profitable.
I have one every night.
Richer the better.
His name is Dan Harmon.
I actually do. As a side note, when you guys do encounter that thing where it's like somebody, even as individuals or as reductress, but like I know when you encounter the situation where you accidentally snared somebody, like you're like just doing something that was like ironic, and somebody does go. Like that makes you feel bad, doesn't it? Or not to lead you, but it makes me feel bad. Like it makes me feel like I fucked up or something.
Sometimes it's like too true for people, and you're like, I don't know, like, did I want to hurt this person?
I love that some dude is sitting in his apartment like, why you pick on me? You know I'm dumb.
I kind of feel that way sometimes. I feel like we've come as close as we've ever come in this last election, where like a lot of people are saying like oh well, in a world where some of us experience shame for not being society's ideal of beautiful, that some people are saying, and this is not my speech about we ignored the Rust Belt. Fuck it, fuck them. I'm from Wisconsin. Fuck that part of me. I'm just saying, like that. I've had conversations with who I thought were smart friends of mine that like were like, yeah, but it's rather him than Hillary, and like you go down this road, and like you always come down to this like little channel that's filled with like little rats and bits of newspaper, and but there's like this fundamental, almost chagrining honesty about how it's an anti-intellectual revolution. That all of this, like that shaming people about punctuation and not understanding the world and things like that's like that. What is my point? It's only an observation. It's not about, we didn't do fucking shit wrong. We're good people. I'm not saying that at all. That's not my thesis. I just like, I think it's an interesting observation that we've come as close as we ever have in our life, of a group of Americans saying like, I've been feeling dumb because I'm dumb for a long time, and I was just hoping maybe dumb people could be in control. And like they dressed that up when Bush, with the Bush thing. They used to dress that up, and that they're getting closer and closer to just going dumb, 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 dumb.
I read this article that was pretty interesting that was about how the Trump election is kind of similar to insane clown posse followers, the Juggalos. Where they've created this community that basically exists to say fuck you to anything that would say fuck you to my community.
Right.
And so in so doing, they've kind of created this armor where it's like anything can be used to then justify their own means, because their whole premise was just out of anger and resentment of just almost the same kind of things that we have anger and resentment for, but just other things too.
It's almost as if the municipal communities, places in port cities, places, the nerve centers of the giant animal called the country, that are often dismissed and don't have electoral power because they're city slickers, like they're folded over on themselves 8 times, which is the maximum. And so they're all in contact with each other in a big sandwich. So even if they do have a low IQ, they have a snobbishness to them when it comes to what you say to an Indian man when you meet him at the deli. And then you're in these other states where the electoral power is so high. And the positive way of looking at it isn't so much like, oh, they're trying to take over. They wish that the whole country was a cattle ranch or a welding factory where you make welding. That what they're actually saying is, oh, first fold. Weird. we're on the 8th fold, and they're like, it's weird to be folded. Because the internet folded them, so they're having their first experiences with things that you learn if you go to college. in a big city, if you go from the Midwest to the next to the nearest big city, and as you follow that path, if I could just show you a Albert Brooks defending your life montage of how dumb I've been and how the dumb things and it didn't stop 5 minutes ago in the green room. I'm just like meeting you guys. I'm just babbling. I'm just like trying to prove I'm a good person. It's like, you imagine like the shame of being just a dumb shit, just a big dumb shit bucket eating fucking moron from a fucking town full of 800 fucking idiot.
He eats the shit bucket. He doesn't even eat the shit. He eats the whole bucket.
There's a shame there. I think shame's like our biggest problem.
I think it's white fragility and male fragility in a nutshell, because it's like when you tell someone like, hey, the thing you guys always do hurts me as a person, they experience a tiny fraction of that pain. They're like, oh, I hurt someone.
Well, the part that I just heard was the thing you guys always do. And I was like processing I was like, fuck you. While you're telling me that it hurts you.
But in a lot of instances, you're like, hey, the thing you do kills us. And then they're like, that hurts our feelings for you to say that. You know, and you're like, but on our side, that's a little bit bigger.
A microcosm of every relationship, where because I just had one tonight where it's like I didn't have a fight with my girlfriend, but we had a thing. It's like we love each other so much that any turbulence causes a conversation of, like if someone were to express a need, if someone were to say, "Oh, I'm dissatisfied in this area." When I hear that, unless I'm fucking on point and sober and ready for anything and have just finished breathing 4 times, taking 4-second breaths, and have a big mouthful of peanut butter and I got a sheep on my dick, I don't know what my ideal. I'm in a hammock, whatever the ideal is. Like, unless those ideal situations are met, I'm bound to hear your dissatisfaction as I fucked up. Now, like, it's easy to, when you look back on it after your autonomic system like cools down, we always look back and go, oh, that person told me I fucked up. Like, and wow, they must really give a fuck. Like to tell me that. And also my ability to say I fucked up is actually like pretty cool, sexy, alpha. But in that moment, you're like, I'm always like, I didn't fuck up. Like you should know, well, okay, maybe I did fuck up, but that definitely pales in comparison to your fuck ups. Even just telling me I fucked up is kind of a fuck up if you think about it. There's just this like scramble, and it's a panic that is equivalent to when you're drowning. It's fight or flight. And there's something romantic about that, because when you're feeling fight or flight, don't shake your head, Brandon. At the heart of it all is like why would you panic? It's like if you watch like a war movie about Nazis, like they're herding people into a camp, there's not a ton of like, ow, my shoes hurt. What the fuck are you saying that for? I'm a fucking good Nazi. They're like not hearing them and not looking at them as humans, and there is a place you can get to where hatred and privilege and all of the things that we're struggling with, like, get to a place where it's like, holy shit, it's really bad. And right now, for it to be in a place of people freaking out all the time, like that, the fact that the internet is a goddamn fucking like cesspool is because like we're getting hurt by each other, and half of us, or 20% of us or whatever, are getting hurt by the idea that we've been doing it wrong the whole time, and like, we just figured to make you happy. Yes. This was my world I made for you ladies.
I think a lot of us have the impulse to be like, hey, I didn't mean to do that, and we really want to prove it to them, but it's like,
I didn't mean for you to call me a slut. I just wanted you to know I wanted maybe fair wages.
I think the fact that someone would bring the point up to you, like, is them knowing that you didn't mean to. Like, they already know that. So we get caught in this trap of trying to prove to them that, like, we're a good person who wouldn't intentionally hurt them. And it's like, that's beside the point to them. They're just trying to tell you to stop doing it.
And it's hard because every human being shares this, I think, primatological. There is a surf curl or a wind that gets into your sail. The moment when it's self-righteousness, or just not even self-righteousness, that sounds pejorative. Righteousness, when you truly are right. It's not fabricated. You are right. Like that's when a lot of us break down. My heroes are the people that have changed me, are people who have been right and have taken mercy on me and been like, hey man, like you should know you're wrong and I'm right, but like that they like come in somehow lower. I don't know. I don't even know how they did it, but like I've had these experiences where I'm like, I would have just argued about this shit and like been this way if it weren't for this one person, this anonymous person on Twitter or in some flame war that was like, it's 9/11, everybody. Anyways, but yeah, it's a dangerous mechanism in all of us that I think when we feel correct, when we feel right, there's like a Newtonian law there that like puffs us up more, and then it creates this syndrome because when you feel wrong, you have a defensive reaction, and then when you feel right, you have an aggressive reaction. Maybe that's me describing men. I don't think so though.
I have a theory now that we've all been emotionally abused by probably our parents or someone along
I like
the way.
that theory.
And then our coping mechanism going forward is like it's either fight or flight. So in certain situations, we just become the abuser because we're like, I'm the right one here. You know, it's a way of taking control.
I think in chaotic households, which should describe 100% of households, even if you think you lived in a beaver cleaver like household, I think you're a kid, so it's chaotic. I do think it's like you have these like tyrants who are going to say, because I said so, and they're going to be like, and I think the moments that dopamine spike us and evolve us are the moments we stand up to them and prove them wrong. I at least I should just speak for myself. I mean, that was my household. It was like, I didn't learn that the more I could roll over, the more freedom I got at all. Like my curfews got extended by fucking monologues. Like my posture improved like it was like all my leveling up had to do with like the moment I finally lost my shit and fucking like proved someone wrong, emulating the weapons they would use against me, which were like yelling and shaming and toxifying and all that stuff. And that's what we're all up against, is because our whole species is descended from one big dysfunctional family that was reproductively successful. Like we don't give ourselves enough credit biologically for being primates that grew up in God's crosshairs and yet beat the fuck out of giraffes and ants. We're going to the fucking outer space, and when we do, if you were a good giraffe, you can come with, we'll think about it. It was not a good solution to grow a longer neck because you couldn't reach leaves. That's dumb. You thought you nailed it. You would have fucking eaten us if you had evolved past that. You would have fucking eaten us. We're eating you. You don't even taste good. You're all neck. And you can't talk. Famous for their necks, can't talk.
You hate giraffes so much.
Somewhere along the line where I'm growing a longer neck, maybe I should add some larynxes. So I could say, hey, anyone have any ideas about how to build a ladder? It's laziness. My point is, we don't earn this through our choices every day.
Have you ever met a giraffe? Have you ever been in the company of one?
Don't interrupt me. It irritates me. We didn't earn any of this, but it also is recognizable. Like as a species, we fucking like. We are the biggest success on the planet until you get to the part where we're so successful that the planet may then fail. But like as individual human beings, then we don't. I had it. I fucking had it. I had the meaning of life right in my fucking hand. God damn it!
I want my tail back if we're so successful.
We lost tails because we got so big and fat because we were like fucking nailing it. We used to be like squirrels. I mean, if you back us up all the way to assuming we all came from one amoeba, we represent the part of that amoeba's family that was like, peace. Like, we're awesome. See, and all the other fucking amoeba siblings are like, no, I think I'll be an amoeba that grows a amoeba shirt. And we were like, I think I'll be a fucking monkey.
And they're like, you think you're better than me now? Fucking
I don't want
smart
the tail.
amoeba.
I don't want the tail. I want that toe thumb where you can fucking grab onto shit with your foot.
Yeah, and super strength.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
Remember that shit?
You can just fucking hang out upside down and be like, I'm fine like this.
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
you.
we had one. Here's what it doesn't protect you from: your cousins becoming nuclear capable. Sorry, toe thumb. I've got.
Why are those mutually
I've got-
exclusive? Why can't I be good at nuclear physics and also have a toe thumb?
Turns out you can't. If we don't blow ourselves up, we may get to a point where we can upload our consciousness into a simulation of having toe thumbs. Like we're almost there. We're almost there. We just got a couple more little conniption fits to get through. God, I swear to God, I had a fucking point. I was gonna stitch the giraffe thing to a thing. It was gonna blow your mind.
You're mad about giraffes because they got it wrong and they should have had a ladder?
Yeah, and why? I know that.
No, he's
that
right
part,
about the latter part. That part was great.
Now, what I was saying before that was I was harping about something, and I was like then I got off on this thing that I've said 1,000 times, but I was like, all right. So
We should build a wall.
we should build a wall. Did you see the photo of the guy? And that's the wall. All right. Anyways,
You're gonna want those giraffes on the wall when the wall happens, man. You're gonna need someone to fucking see what's going on the other side. You're gonna fucking eat your fucking words about giraffes.
You remember Gladiator? They have a shot where you can see your giraffes being loaded into the Coliseum's loading dock, but they don't have the scene where people are killing giraffes, which is what they used to do because they were like, holy shit, look at these monsters with long necks. We should have 8 of them fight Doug. And Doug would be like, yeah! And the giraffes would be like, are you fucking kidding me? I got a long neck here. I did everything I'm supposed to do. I'm not a horse, for God's sake. I got a long neck. And we're like, we have bronze. You're dead. And it's not fair to you.
A giraffe will fuck you up or kick you. They'll fucking whap you with their head. They don't fuck about. You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight a zebra. A zebra will fucking get you.
Look, everything will get me. A giraffe would kick my ass. I'm not a gladiator.
I wouldn't want to be in a ring with a giraffe, even with a sword. I would like that. He's gonna walk on your face.
I don't. What do you want to be in a ring with a sword with?
Crocodile.
Just say if you had said female or feminist parody news site editors.
Why would I say that?
Because our podcast would have taken a huge turn for clicks. It would have been amazing.
If I said I wanted to kill feminists,
would have gotten you a wooden sword. We would have gone into it. It would have been a huge charity event.
Here's what I would do if I could go back in time. If I could be in a ring with anybody and with an actual sword, Nero, who used to make people fight him with fake swords. It's like, no, fight me with a real sword, you piece of shit.
What about an ugly sex robot?
I would fuck a sex robot that looked like David Lee Roth. Just because.
Ow! Just for that. Just to make it come.
I brought my pencil.
Hey, man! You came on my face! I would do it just for that.
If it was just like a soundboard, like a Waze thing, you saw. Oh, you had a Shaq one where it's like, why'd you come on my face?
Ease the seat back.
The Coliseum.
My friend Matt Young thought the lyrics were, I can barely see the road, all the heat coming off it. Reach down between my legs, ease the seed bag.
Oh, no.
He thought it was ease the seed bag.
So David Lee Roth is a farmer on a tractor in his mind. Ease the seed bag.
The seed bag is...
Wave to Yahshua.
I reached down between my legs and eased the seed bag. I was like, you thought that was on the fucking air on the radio? That's the worst.
I told you guys today, for the longest time, I don't know when I figured out that it wasn't the case. I thought the phrase "blow your wad" was exclusively sexual and was so grossed out that mainstream media would just use it that CNN would go oh, the Clinton campaign may have blown its wad on the thing. I'd be like, gross, what are you... talking about jipe on a fucking, like, what? And then I realized it's like, oh, it's like a wad of cash or... I was like, how are people saying blow your wad all the time? It's so gross. It's like Pearl Jam, and you learn what Pearl Jam is, and you're like, gross, stop it. What are you, 8? I have to hear your name all the time.
Wait, what
Jam?
the fuck?
Pearl Jam is...
What is... No, that's pearl necklace. Not that I know.
Well, it's... Oh, well, no, I gestured to my décolletage, but no, that's it's even grosser. Pearl Jam. It's fucking Pearl Jam. Gross.
You mean somebody takes cum and puts it in a jar and makes jam?
Is that an actual...
No, it's a way of referring to your fucking gross pearly cum.
Is that an actual thing? Or you making
sorry.
Dan, that's not true.
They don't
Pearl
like
Jam,
it.
The name comes from one of them had
It's
a jam
Abed.
named Pearl, and her jam was really good. So it's Pearl Jam.
Check this motherfucker for a suicide vest. Don't you never stand up at a comedy show like that. Check him for a vest.
Is that Abed?
Yeah, it's
Oh shit!
I had to say that because
Please don't kill us.
All right, thank you, Abed.
Thank you for saving Pearl Jam for me and everyone in this room.
You thought Pearl Jam was a cum reference?
I really... Maybe I projected that? Did I come up with a name for cum and, like, make it Pearl Jam's fault?
I think you did.
All right, I accept that.
I mean...
I was like, what the fuck do I not know about?
Yeah.
You would never spread Pearl Jam on toast?
Well, I'm not ashamed of that projection. That just makes me imaginative, like Vonnegut or something. I didn't market it. Like, but the important thing is, but thank you. Pearl Jam, if you're listening, you're off the hook.
That ant story to me sounds like something they just said in interviews in the 90s.
What was the ant story? I wasn't even listening. All I heard was that I was
that
wrong.
Their Aunt Pearl made really good jam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Made good jam, so they called it Pearl Jam. But then...
Oh, okay. So, all right. Yeah, you're right.
They made that up so they could explain their name in interviews.
But I can't go into...
Yeah, and also,
all right.
Also, like the Beatles said Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds wasn't LSD. It was some other shit.
Oh,
And Aunt Limp just made really good biscuits.
Wait, what does Limp Bizkit mean? Is that a reference to something sexual? What is Limp Bizkit?
When you have a bunch of people that jerk off on a biscuit, and then one person can't jerk off with a Limp Bizkit. That's what that Limp Bizkit means.
I don't understand how the ordinary world in that Campbellian journey is a bunch of people jerking off on a biscuit, and then we had to make up a phrase for when that fails.
Yeah. It seems like if everybody successfully jerked off on a biscuit, the biscuit would become limp. But you're saying that the guy that can't keep it up...
The guy that can't jerk off is the winner. He's the Limp Bizkit.
He's the winner?
Yeah,
there are no winners.
He's got to eat the biscuit. You know, go great in that biscuit. A little of my aunt's Pearl Jam.
I always thought Limp Bizkit is the worst thing you can hear right before a dude punches you in the mouth. That's how you know you're about to get into a fight. When a white dude is like, Limp Bizkit! You're like, no! So fucking embarrassing.
I don't want to hear Limp Bizkit or Smash Mouth under any circumstances.
Right. I'd rather have my ass beat to Journey.
Just a small town girl.
Right. Yeah. You can fuck me up to Faithfully. You can hold me forever to Faithfully and just...
Is that... Wait, what's Faithfully?
I'm forever yours. Right?
Keep going. Keep going.
It's also about semen.
Wait, what band is that? Is that Journey?
Journey.
Wait, how do I not know a Journey song? I don't... Faithfully.
You ain't fucking from Missouri.
All I'm thinking is... That's not Open Arms.
You know what Journey means? It's
pretty sure
it's when you poop on somebody's chest.
Yeah. It all means cum. What have we found out tonight? All of our favorite bands. Tori Amos means cum. So are you guys? Forgive my ignorance, but are you guys here just because you're awesome, or are you also maybe moving to Feral Audio with a podcast? Or?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You can check out our podcast, Mouth Time.
Yeah, and if you're in town tomorrow, we have a show at the Comedy Store at 8 p.m. It's gonna be awesome. Yep.
What's the podcast called?
Mouth Time.
Mouth Time.
Yeah.
That sounds more like Pearl Jam.
Oh, it's definitely about semen. I mean, this is undeniably.
What isn't? Which time we
semen-based.
stop denying everything is. It's time we stop denying everything is. I got to get my grammar right because otherwise I'll never become president.
What's Mouse Time? What is Mouse Time about? What's the angle on Mouse Time?
It was kind of inspired by a particular women's magazine podcast. So it's hosted by two of the editors of Reductress in the world of Reductress.
A parody of entertainment podcasts.
Yeah.
I love
it. Killer pitch, I know.
And you guys are already but how long have you been doing it?
Almost a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so but is it usually in studio, not with an audience?
We've done a couple live podcasts, but we usually record it in the office.
But you're doing a live one this coming. I just want to make sure people can
the
show
show
up
at the Comedy Store is a stand-up variety show. We've got some great people on board. Rhea Butcher's performing, Eliza Skinner, Dulce Sloan, Amanda Seals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Okay, so yeah, and I'm just making sure everybody has
Yeah.
the information they need to go there in case it's not sold out. So you'll be on Feral Audio after that, and that's easy enough to just look up.
Yes.
Well, let me see. Did you guys know that the H in ADD is they just added it and.
Where is this members only jacket I heard so much about from the future?
I think that kid left.
Oh, did he split?
Oh, he moved chairs.
He moved.
In an effort to he's like, give me my life back. We found him.
Hey, what's your name, brother? We met you before and I forgot your name. Lucas. Lucas, you have a gift bag for Dan and Spencer, I see.
Yeah. Oh, is this Lucas, the tall guy that we ridiculed for your height? And you were such a good sport. I listened to that, by the way. I was as much as we were self-effacing about how we were just mocking you for your height. I listened back to it. I was like, "Holy shit, this is a thing!" Like we really just like.
I mentioned I was a painter when I was on, and I painted you and Spencer.
Oh shit!
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Painting, so I figured that I would.
I mean, is it okay if I unveil it?
Feel free to show people. It's Minecraft.
Look, it's a Minecraft themed painting.
I didn't know what video games you like, so yeah. There's one in there for Spencer too.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
man.
no problem.
I missed you last time, right? I was gone.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah.
I didn't have one for Jeff.
That's okay. Next time.
What video games do you like?
Pardon?
What video games do you like?
I'm pretty heavy into Candy Crush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'll pay you some candy.
Jelly Saga.
Okay.
Do you have a site? Where can we see
I
your
have
stuff?
an Instagram, King Lucas Lee.
King Lucas Lee.
Yeah.
KingLucasLee.
Correct.
All
with
right.
underscores in between the
Can
words.
you use it in a
With
sentence?
underscores in between.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's great on me for knowing how to spell
I
common
know.
names,
Yeah.
but the important thing is okay.
Sometimes people spell it with a K, which is Lucas with a K.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Well, maybe you're so tall they think you're like Slender Man, like a devil.
I have been Slender Man for Halloween before. It's good. It scares people.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
I'm standing right in front of you guys.
Just
I'll
like
stand in front
Slender
of
Man
y'all.
would.
You can sit back down. I'm
Dan was asking me questions, and
Yeah.
No, Lucas, park it. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Sit on my lap.
Okay.
Oh.
You just gotta say what you want.
Yeah.
How's it?
Stand up if you want.
all good.
No, yeah, okay, great.
So what are we talking about now?
In addition to making us paintings, how is your life going? Let's make your life a serialized drama.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Christmas ended, so I don't have a job anymore.
Oh, because of the, of course, Santa's such a tall character.
I was a Who at Universal Studios.
Oh, right,
So
right.
for Grinchmas.
Oh, really? And they just kick you in the street?
Yeah, they're just
gotta,
like get out.
Now,
Yeah.
I used to work there. Like, I don't want to be heightist, but you would be a perfect Frankenstein there because,
I'm too tall.
You're too tall for Frankenstein?
Because he wears platform shoes, so
so
he
you'd be-
is the same height as me.
But you'd be 11 feet tall.
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
'Cause I got
It becomes an FAA issue.
Yeah.
I got to be Frankenstein there once, and it was the best gig in the world because you get to wear a suit and a mask, and nobody
knows who you are. Yeah,
and nobody fucks with you because you're horrifying. But yeah, you would be.
No one fucks with me anyway because I'm horrifying.
Exactly.
I'm 6'9".
You're not horrifying, but you don't. You're not like scary.
No, you're like
Right.
you're like Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, you called me Stephen Merchant last episode.
Yeah, I mean, well, there you go. That's what everyone's calling you in their head then.
Yeah.
If I don't have my finger on the pulse of the people, I don't know who does.
Well,
right now you're giving Reductress the best lap dance of their life.
yeah, I know, right? It's so still. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're very thin. I feel nothing.
Yeah. I wouldn't like smell bad. I'm just like.
Not at all.
All right. Well, I
Thank you.
guess
I'll sit
All right,
down.
Lucas,
I'll sit down.
All right,
Get off our guest.
Yeah,
Lucas, everybody.
it's nicer when it's their idea to sit down. It makes me feel more comfortable. I feel like I don't
did
wanna-
great.
Thank you.
You have great company.
All right.
When people come over, you're always so nice.
What have you been up to, Brandon?
Man, I got these bootlegs of this podcast on Feral. So if you guys want to get that shit, then I'm selling that after this show.
Are you doing Lucha Vavoom coming up for?
I'm not doing Lucha Vavoom. I wish I was, but please go check out Lucha Vavoom. It's fucking LA's greatest gift to itself.
You got to see Brandon does a character. Was there a name for that character?
I said he was Father Greasy Dick, which is a real fucking Catholic name in St. Louis. You live in Greasy Dick Hall. You from St. Louis? Why are you nodding at me, man? Oh, because
there's not a real Greasy Dick Hall.
There's a real Greasy Dick Hall in St. Louis, of all places.
And it's a Catholic parish or no?
It's a Catholic university called St. Louis University.
Greasy Dick Hall.
Greasy Dick Hall.
How do you spell that?
GREISDICH, maybe something like that, or BRANDON. Never ask me what I'm up to. The real truth is looking for a cheap vape.
I'm not going to accept that as the answer. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's getting. It's about that time that I'm getting nervous that we don't have an ending. So I'll literally change the pitch of my voice.
That's awesome.
Why do I allow myself to take on a slight urban patois as long as it's being filtered through a bass enhancing device? I want to call myself out on that.
Do you have any? Do any white people have white friends that when they talk to any black person, like they uncontrollably affect a little slight, like kind of like urban, like
What you talking about?
Like. Hey. And it doesn't matter who they are. Like it doesn't matter what. Like they just like like
Your friend is Steven Seagal.
And I always I have such social anxiety. I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing? Stop! What are you doing?
We love it. Everybody should do it. No, really. It's a natural thing that every person does. Whether you're speaking to a person who has an accent, yeah,
mimicry,
it's
kinda.
natural.
Yeah,
it's the way you say, "I'm hearing you. I agree with you. I want to be on good terms with you." Because if you start to hard R me when I'm like chilling with you, then I'm like, how come you ain't being cool, officer? We were talking about blunts and shit, and you never were like, yeah. You were always like, yes. That's not. So I think it's a good thing. Maybe I think it's you trying to reach out.
Yeah,
in your own.
That agreement is how we learn language. It's how we mimic each other because it's how we socially agree with each other.
Well, here's what I try to do when I talk to African Americans.
And what just happened? Why y'all do this to me? Turn it off.
Yo. I try to be myself. I don't try to be someone else. I try to be myself. Try to be someone else. Yo, my name is.
Who is that? Who is that?
Yeah.
Who is that?
It's me. It's me. It's just me. You may be black. I just talk like this. You may be brown. I just talk like this. You may be a woman and I talk like this.
but I'm not changing for you. I'm just showing you all I can do, like break your body down to the break of dawn.
Who that?
On the front lawn, I'm gonna fuck your booty all night long. Gonna wash your car with my dong. It's so soft like a chamois. Go to South Miami, fuck your Grammy. I win a Grammy for your mammy.
For your mammy.
Fuck your mommy, I'm a chamois dick. Take it, Brandon.
Chamois dick, super thick. Wash your windows, dry them quick. The chamois don't fuck around. Chamois where? Chamois town. Jeff Davis, run up in this motherfucker. Jeff Davis and save us.
Yo, Chamois Dick's in the house. Yo, his dick's like a towel. Scrub me down so hard to make a pussy growl.
Make that pussy growl.
Yo, Chamois Dick. Yo, his dick is soft, smooth, like a cloth. What? He'll invade your pussy like you were Roman. His dick's a Visigoth. What? Yeah. I'll take you back to 300 BC, motherfuckers.
300 BC is the year I invented.
That's right. What?
Chamois dick.
All right, good job, yeah. We probably shouldn't have a phobia of finishing a show before 10 p.m. We should probably, at those moments, we should be like, all right. Sorry, ladies, about that last, I don't know if it occurred to me if you'd never heard the show before, you'd be like, are they doing this to, like, goad us?
I was ready.
Yeah,
we were here
We
for
didn't
it.
give Sarah and Beth a chance to freestyle. You guys, you want to jump in on some of this shit?
Yes. Mandatory. It's war mandatory.
Beth is hungry for it.
Dustin, put a beat on before you get peed on.
Y'all heard of salt and pepper. This is turmeric and ginger.
Yeah. I'm so spicy. I wish he'd clean me up with his dick. His chamois dick. Lay it on thick. Clean me up.
Chamois dick.
Ooh.
Chamois dick.
It's like I'm spicy, more like I'm very, very nicey because I come in and shake your mom's hand, but it's got semen all over it because God knows what I've been doing.
Chamois dick. Soft enough to wash a car.
Soft enough to be wherever you are. I want your body.
I want it for breakfast and lunch.
I want it.
Sorry
to interrupt. You were saying?
It's Jeff Davis' turn.
Nobody wants to freestyle to this shit, but I guess I'm gonna have to do it because it is a great beat. I have to say I wanna wash it like a car. It's gonna cost me a lot of money like a Camry. A Toyota Camry, a very good car. Doesn't take me very far, but it's reliable.
Yes! Reductress. MC Reductress.
Yo, sometimes when I make love, I need that chamois. I need someone to wipe down my dick after I drop my pearl jammy. Yo, girl, can I get in your Camry? I'm reliable.
I got it.
Also, my Blue Book rating is pretty high. My resale value is pretty good. Lease to own.
I'm a Tesla, the sex robot of cars. Wipe me down with your judgmental chamois dick. Chamois dick.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a big lamb condom over your Tesla, cause that's the only way that I'll get you pregnant.
Oh, God.
Cause they're bad condoms. You shouldn't use those, guys.
What should we use?
I didn't. It was the thing over the Tesla.
The thing over the Tesla.
Yeah.
Complicated.
I don't have a car, but when I get one, I'm not gonna put a tarp on it because it's like a shoe. You're supposed to stomp in it. You're supposed to collect mud and dirt because if you're worth a car, that's what a car is worth. I'm gonna get a BMW, drive it in your booty. It's gonna make you real moody if you're given to hysteria. But I don't care, cause I'm misogynist and I got a car. I'm a misogynist car owner. I got a boner, and my car is my boner. I'm an owner of a boner. Yo, Humvee. So heavy, heavier than my dick. Yo.
My name is MC Misshapen Dick. I had a mangled dick in an ice pick accident. I got my dick mangled hard. I worked for 10 years in a prison yard, trying to get my dick back into shape. I go outside and I'm treated like a grape. My wrath is given a bath. Starting over with that thought, I have a misshapen dick. It hurts my feelings. I'm afraid to show it to women. So when I go swimming, I'm worried about it.
MC Misshapen Dick, everybody.
MC Misshapen Dick.
MC Shammy Dick.
All right.
DJ Camry.
How do we end our shows before 10 p.m.? What do we do? We just.
I think we just slowly trail off into madness.
I mean, if it's not with a, is there? It'd have to be improvised D&D and. We have to. Let's do that. Okay, let's figure out. Okay, we gotta start doing role playing. Let's make this official business. Like we gotta figure out. Like, should we do Shadowrun again, or should we find a new thing that's technically not?
Whatever you guys want, man. Whatever
Really?
will keep you.
Because Dan and I were
playing
talking
the game.
about doing our role playing games got kind of diffuse because we would play it and there'd be 7 characters and sometimes none of them were here and we would never remember what the hell was going on. So we were talking about going back to kind of the old days of like Sharpie and Cork and Spencer,
Right.
where it's we maybe not end the show, like do like a mid-show segment where the 3 of us play a little RPG.
Quite so drunk that we have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we have a little legal maybe trouble with because of Harmon Quest.
The way to be the safest of anything, if it's just, if it's not.
Oh, that's an excellent point, actually.
What?
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah.
One of the breakdancers from Beat Street?
Oh yeah, he's being sarcastic. It's, weird to yell that out, but also don't want to say weird because weird could have positive connotations. Like dumb to yell that out.
Don't be a dick about it.
I mean,
that cadence says only one thing.
Boxed wine.
Yeah.
Somebody please take her box of wine away from her.
I mean, I would say
I am here to vote.
say dumb to yell that out, but weird to defend it, which is a positive
You
thing. I defend her defending it. I think the person that yelled it out was dumb, and then I think she's kind of Joan of Arc for going like, "Fuck it, he deserves to live." I'm like, yeah, she's right.
I don't think they're even
She's
sitting
weird.
next to each other. I hope Electric Boogaloo and Wine Box Lady get it on tonight.
But I hope that she keeps talking to him that way.
You don't have
the
to
entire
be.
time. You can take me home with you. We should get each other's number.
And he comes home every night from a day of frustration. He's like, I just keep yelling out Electric Boogaloo, and no one gets me. And she's like,
You don't have to
get
be.
you, yeah. You deserve to yell it out. And he's like, I love you. And she's like, let's get something beyond bath salts. I don't want to just eat the face. I want to eat the soul. Let's bring Florida to Los Angeles. That's why we moved here.
You're the one that said shammy dick.
Brandon, you're our favorite.
Don't even try it. My heart is dead. Motherfucker pays my rent. I've known this motherfucker for 15 years. You think I'm gonna pick you, Braveheart? They try to pick on the black dude. You're our favorite. Nah, dog. I know what a slave ship conductor looks like.
You're our favorite. Get on board. Love.
That shit backfired.
Exciting
and new. Motherfucker got gutsy, but it backfired.
I'm like the Brad Pitt, right? Like in that metaphor. Like I come with my beard and I'm like helping you build shit and I'm like, I don't get it. Tell me, explain slavery to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. We gotta get you out of here.
You would certainly be the slave owner.
It's not true. Although I do feel like my mom. I remember my mom.
You have two assistants.
When we were just because I take to ownership well doesn't mean that I'm like that's different. But I do feel like there was a constant thing when I was growing up in Milwaukee where there were people that would call our house, like cold calling to round up family reunions, and there would always be this awkward moment where the person calling would be like, yes, the Harmon family is getting together in the park, and my mom would be like, okay, well, where should we go? and he'd be like, well, we're meeting by the water fountain, and forgive me for asking, but are you white? And my mom would go, yes, we are. And he'd go, well, we aren't. And then my mom would get off the phone and go, I think someone in our family owns slaves.
Nah, we should go to that nice black family's party.
They did that phone call disinvited us. The guy was like he would be like, you're not invited.
That is not fucking true.
No, you black people, you're exclusionary.
My fucking last name is Johnson. We party with everybody. Good God. The black Swedes. If somebody fucking says Johnson, I shows up for the free food. I'm not stupid. You should have fucking shown up. These motherfuckers be like, we're the richest Harmons and we have the greatest restaurants, but that white family won't show up to our barbecue.
Well, we should have gone. I didn't have a say in that family. I would have gone.
You could have done something, Dan.
I should have. I'm admitting to my mistakes.
You said you made monologues that made change. You could have stood up for yourself.
I should have made one of my monologues, let's go party with black people. I didn't do it.
Well, it's not too late. Bring out Reginald Harmon. He's like, Dan, I'm the one who supplied your rap beat. You show me no familial love, Dan.
Yeah.
Am I still your favorite? Nope, but not no more, because I got your ass. You don't like me no more, do you?
Honey, what? Oh, now it's we okay. It's timing it's hard. It's like a thing that you learn. It's like with ice skating. It's like, oh, you have blades on your feet and it's slippery out there. I've done both of these things, and you just go out and it's just like wait. And it happens to us too, primarily when people are just like, Frosted Flakes. And the only people that get through are the people so blind drunk that they're just like, I killed Kurt Cobain. And we welcome them all, and we want them all to come up on stage and stuff. But then there's this Jerry Springer effect, and then I need to be a better ringmaster. I need to like crack the whip. like a ringmaster. Ringmaster.
Jeff was right. Jeff was right.
He thinks he's the Brad Pitt in that movie.
I'm one mustache away, man. I'd be like, thank you kindly. Oh, hey, this 2x4. Don't you think you should just be hanging out? I don't get it.
Sure thing, ringmaster.
You know what? I'm going to talk to a guy who's going to talk to a guy. I think I can get you signed with an agency to get you out of this southern area. I'm from Sweden. I don't know what's going on. I just produced the movie, and it was just like this magical white man. Why am I throwing Brad Pitt under the bus? He tried to do a good thing.
Oh. I didn't hear it, but ooh.
I didn't hear. I didn't. What?
You don't have to be a dick about it.
All right. Well, so I just keep
what
looking
kind of weird Muppet show is happening in the back row right now?
It could be.
Brought to you by Francia.
Francia, yeah.
I don't
the French.
I don't even understand the inside jokes of the people that are mocking the drunk lady.
He was doing a boxed wine.
That's boxed wine, Francia.
Our show brought to you by Francia.
All right. That was that's where we loosen the reins enough for the hoi polloi to ooze in and teach us that there's a reason why some of us are elitist, and
that's why
now we bring it back around.
That's why Sarah and Beth are so lucky
hope.
that you guys do your show in the confines of a studio, where you don't have to deal with everything.
Oh, yeah, we hate people.
Have you guys ever done when you do your live show? Do you ever how loose is the grip on people like chiming in, and do you guys like what are your feelings there? What's your philosophy?
People haven't chimed in at all, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, our hosts are nuts, so they kind of just like occupy the space, and there really isn't a lot of room for people to get in there.
We create our own crazy.
Yeah. It's our own particular brand. Yeah.
It was just verified from one of our producers, Kevin, that the woman that I jokingly said I did not know this. I said she was drinking boxed wine. Apparently, not only is that true, she's taken the bag out of the box and just drinking it out of the Mylar bag. Like a fucking.
She's doing it right.
Like Daniel Boone.
Like a bagpipe. She's
Good
playing
for you,
Danny
girl.
Boy.
Get it.
I didn't know I was right about boxed wine. I thought I was just being an asshole, and it turns out I was morally safer. I was fucking.
All right, how do we end the show? How do we end a show? How does anyone ever end a show? I've never learned.
How about one of your Andy Rooney moments where you just break it down? You kind of.
All right, give me a thing that I should decry.
Box wine.
Why is wine always coming in boxes? No one knows who Andy Rooney is. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Do your Rachel Maddow.
Yeah. Give us a Rachel Maddow, Keith Olbermann fucking like breakdown
How do we feel about Keith Olbermann? Does anybody? Because I feel like he's not as popular as he should be. Like I love that he's like sitting in a basement, just like fucking calling out, just going like, "Holy shit!" Does he hit his wife or something? Like what? Why is it that everyone's not like Keith Olbermann is my jam? What is it like?
I'm never gonna forgive you for sports.
Is that what? Really?
No. He was a sportscaster for a little while.
Yeah. So what? Like
nerds don't appreciate that shit.
But he defected. He defected. That's why That's part of why
That's not cool.
Because I looked at his Wikipedia, I was expecting to see like, oh, he, I don't know, something that was like that dirtied him just enough that he's like just sitting alone, going like.
Didn't he get fired from MSNBC?
Yeah, he got fired for something. I forget.
But
what it
didn't. But the reason he got fired or he got suspended because he donated while he was working on his thing. He donated $2,400 to each of 3 Democratic parties.
Oh, that's lame.
And then it was a technical infraction, so he took a suspension, and then. After the suspension, they just didn't renegotiate his contract, and nobody really knows. This is all in Wikipedia. I went there to going like, I fully expected to hear that he like hit a kid with his car or something.
So his major failure is that he's not an intelligent lesbian. I think that's really what he's lacking.
What do you mean by that? You're just saying like he lost to Rachel Maddow. You're saying he lost to Rachel
Simply,
Maddow.
there can only be one
Right.
true, and
Just
Rachel Maddow's is
competitively,
doing
he
it.
just didn't like. But
Her brand is strong. His.
Cause she just does like awesome stand up. Like her whole show is
She slays.
She looks at the camera and just does like extended stand up bits.
I adore her. I have room in my life for both of them. I'm not bragging when I say that. I just I didn't see them as like, oh, I have to watch one or the other. Like and he looks like Sam the Eagle. So I would think that he would have like a hardcore demographic that would be like, I'm ashamed enough of my straight white male like alpha beta-ness that I want to be ashamed of it, but at the same time he's just like this, like he cuts that silhouette, so it's like you have permission to like him because he's going like, I don't know, he's like, I love Keith Olbermann, which is like he's like sitting in a basement somewhere like doing webisodes for GQ, and he just like does these webisodes, and he's just like fucking like just like this hyper verbose, like hyperbolic, like he's like the sky is falling, and he ends every podcast by going resist, and he holds up like a Spock sign, and it's like peace, and he's like, and his Twitter avatar is him wrapped in a flag like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York, and like it's like he's like lost his mind, but in a good way, because in a mad world only the mad are sane. Like I just fucking want to marry him. Do you like him?
He should do a show with Sam the Eagle, I think.
You don't. Why don't you like Keith Olbermann?
I think he comes off as kind of a blowhard, maybe. That's my guess.
I only trust him and you. So when I got in the car and I said, "What do you think of Keith Olbermann?" and you're like, "He's fine," and I was like, "I'm not going to ask anything else because I didn't want my heart broken."
No, he's fine.
Because if you told me he was, I would be like, "Now what do I do? I don't know what to do."
Can we talk about heartbreak? I went and had Thai food across the street at Toy before the show with my girlfriend. This is my fortune. We've talked about how fortune cookies like drop the ball.
Yeah.
You want to fucking be really bummed out?
That's because your fortune is your shit fat.
Here, pass this down to Dan. Dan, read this out loud.
I got two fortunes in a row that were blank, and that is existentially terrifying.
That's badass.
This was my fortune in my fortune.
Are you fucking kidding?
This is my fortune in my fortune cookie, and I wanted to punch Confucius in the dick.
This is some fucking CBS bullshit. Your fortune is as sweet as a cookie. Are you fucking kidding me?
That made me real. I was physically upset by that one. That made me physically upset.
That's just that's beyond lazy into like. I thought that maybe they changed it from fortunes into advice cookies because they were trying to avoid litigation. So they would just be like, they used to say like duck or like you're gonna meet somebody today, guaranteed, and like maybe they like pulled back because people were like suing them or something.
In 72 hours, you're gonna meet a foreigner with a knife.
Yeah,
like shit like that.
I swear it used to be that way in the 70s. It would be it would be like, a man in a yellow hat is going to give you Curious George.
People were like, that's slander.
Yeah.
You're slandering.
I waited forever for this. Do we both default to a horrible slack-jawed Valley girl when we hate people? I waited forever for that man in a yellow hat. But and then it just became like you'd open your fortune cookie and it would be like, it's better to be good than to be nice or something. Like, I don't care what you think about how to fucking run your life. I want to know what's gonna happen. I'm trying to beat the tapestry of fate, you fucking Chinese cookie.
Yes, I broke the cookie. I did my job. You have to live up to your end of the fucking thing.
First you fuck up fire drills, then you fuck up telephones.
Thanks for coming to Harmontown, everybody. That's been our show.
Look for Reductress on Feral Audio. Or no, it's not going to be called Reductress. It's going to be called
Mouth Time.
Mouth Time. Look for Mouth Time on Feral Audio.
Mouth Time. Beth Newell. Sarah Papalardo. Am I getting that right? Brandon Johnson. Lucas, the bearer of gifts. Spencer Crittenden, everyone. I'm Jeff Davis, your comptroller. Your mayor, of course, is Dan Harmon. Thank you so much. Drive fast, take chances. Watch out for Weinbach Lady.